Have you ever felt worried about choking or freezing during a high stakes pitch, presentation, or meeting? Well, hey, if you're nodding your head, my friend, I've got your back because in today's video, I'm going to teach you my simple 3-step process for speaking with clarity and confidence under pressure. So without further wait, let's get into it. So you've heard about fight or flight, right? But what about the third F that literally nobody's talking about? Freeze. I'm talking about freeze, people. Now get this. According to a 2022 Harvard Business Review article, when our body freezes up, it actually initiates protection mode, meaning it releases a beautiful cocktail of stress-related hormones, which do freaky things to us, man, like increase our heart rate, increase our breathing, dilate our pupils, and make us sweat in places that we didn't know existed. I'm not weird, you are, because we've both been there, okay? Don't act like I'm the only one, please. Now, hey, here's why this matters to you, because the authors go on to suggest that when we're in freeze mode and our body and mind feel under threat, our working memory becomes impaired. Our likelihood of recalling and reliving past negative experiences increases, and the behaviors which once felt second nature to us, not no more. We're all jacked up here. And if you're nodding your head and this sounds familiar, hey, let me hit you with this. From all the different entrepreneurs, teams, and individuals that I've trained over the years who are fearing freezing or choking in a high-stakes scenario, when they are fearing this in a high-stakes scenario, they end up engaging in behaviors which diminish their influence. And as a result, they underperform, even if they know their stuff, even if they're technically brilliant. And it sucks because we all know that they can do it when the spotlight's not on them. But as soon as it becomes a high-pressure scenario, all of that hard work can often go out the window, and it sucks because it can lead to shame, guilt, self-doubt, and embarrassment. And hey, that's when inner work is required to ensure that in future, you're not avoiding such situations, but you're able to approach them from a clean slate. They engage in behaviors which diminish their influence, which causes them to underperform in that scenario, even if they are technically brilliant and they know their stuff. And what really sucks is witnessing the self-doubt, the shame, the guilt, the lack of confidence, and I could go on, but all of those things that come after the fact, because really it takes a lot of inner work to then move through the byproduct of underperforming in a high-stakes scenario. Now, what I'd love to do is share my simple 3-step process with you for speaking with confidence under pressure so you can save your future self from diminishing their influence, charisma, and magnetism. So let's assume the following scenario. Let's assume you're sitting there delivering a pitch or a presentation in a high-stakes meeting, and all of a sudden you get hit with a difficult question. Step 1, pause. That's it. Pause. Now, I'm not saying look at the person you're communicating with and say 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi in your mind. Don't do that. That's creepy. What I'm saying is you're going to organically pause because you're going to engage in the following behavior. You're going to take a few intentional moments to open your body language, inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose, and simply slow everything down. Why? So you can ensure that you're not being reactive. Now, this will last 5 to 6, 7 seconds. Now, what feels like 5 seconds to you, or rather what is 5 seconds to your audience, will feel like 5 minutes to you. Just remember, it takes practice. Step 2, ask a question. And here's what I'm talking about, okay? Here's what I'm talking about to go deeper. Earlier on in this video, we spoke about the fact that when under threat, our memory can become impaired. So asking a question is a beautiful way to do 2 things. Number 1, ensure that what we've heard is correct. But number 2, allow ourselves the time and space to formulate a meaningful response. And the type of questions you can ask could be as simple as, hey, could you repeat the question, please? Or even, could you help me understand the question behind the question? Or even, could you help me understand exactly what you mean so I can formulate a meaningful response for you? Right? Be intentional. Now, the key is you need to ask this question with warmth and curiosity, you feel me? Because imagine saying to somebody, can you help me understand the question behind the question? Aggressive, right? Aggressive versus, can you help me understand the question behind the question? Slight head tilt, leaning in, and up talk at the end of that sentence to display curiosity. Step 3, respond with brevity. And here's what that looks like in practice. You could say, what's coming up for me in this moment are 3 specific thoughts. And then you'll summarize each thought in one sentence. That's the key, in one sentence. And you'll finish up by saying this. Is there any one of these thoughts that you'd like to explore further? And that's it. That clear, that simple. Now, the key here is be concise, be focused, and also offer 3 different paths that somebody could take the conversation down. I know, it's a lot. It is a lot. But the key is practicing in low stakes scenarios so you can achieve success in high stakes scenarios. And here's what I'm talking about. Apparently, back in the day, the swimmer Michael Phelps and his coach, they used to engage in some interesting activities to get him prepped for high stakes scenarios. For example, his coach intentionally broke his goggles before a race so Michael could get used to swimming blind. Okay, now, here's what happened. In the 2008 Olympics, during a race, Michael's goggles started to fill up with water and he couldn't see. But because his mind and body had been there before, he pushed through, he pulled through, he won the gold and broke a world record. Insane, right? Here's why I'm telling you this. Practice in low stakes scenarios for success in high stakes scenarios. In summary, we are all imperfect human beings. And the truth is in the moment, you may forget the framework. Everything may go out of the window. And if that does occur, I want you to own it. I want you to own the imperfect moment because there is nothing more magnetic than somebody who owns their imperfections. Right now, listen, if you enjoyed today's video and actually you'd like to receive this content in written form, then head on down to the link in the description and register for my newsletter where you'll get these weekly videos in written form every single Sunday. Peace.